All right, so it's official, 1617 has closed their doors. So what does that mean for you as a customer or a candle maker going forward? Jeff Standley here with Standley Handcrafted, and today I wanted to talk about the news that just came out through email just a little while ago, and that is that 1617 has closed their doors. For those that are unfamiliar, 1617 was a small boutique candle supplier. They sold luxury supplies, vessels, waxes, oils, and they've been in the market for the last couple of years, and they do an amazing job, so it's definitely sad to see them go. Now, I don't have much information on this one, but I wanted to get in and make a quick video on this one, not on the topic of them closing, but kind of around that topic. And of course, I do want to say I hope 1617 is doing well. Everybody involved with that company is extremely nice. I've dealt with them in the past. I've reviewed a lot of their stuff on the channel. They sold amazing stuff. So an amazing group of people. Definitely sad to see them go. And I know the candle making community is definitely sad to see them go. A lot of people really like their products and the customer service and everything that was around them. And aside from the email, I really don't have too much information on the closing, so I really won't go into that. I'm not going to put assumptions out there because it's just not fair to you guys watching or to 1617 in general. So if they're going to make any comments, I'll let them make any comments that they would make either through email or social media pages. But having said that, definitely sad to see them go. And like I said, they sold luxury vessels, really nice waxes, really nice oils, and now that leaves a lot of customers who were with them wondering where to get their stuff. And as far as supplies or anything like that, their oils, their waxes, nothing has been said about what's going to happen with any of that stuff. It's if it's either gone or if it's going to be going to a new supplier, if any of those recipes or formulas will be going to somebody else so that they can kind of live on. But this brings me to the main point of this video, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, and I really stress this one, and that is not getting too comfortable with any one supplier. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't stick with one supplier, because most people tend to do that. I know for a lot of the stuff that I get probably a good 75% from one supplier, but there's another 25% where I will get stuff from other suppliers just so that I know how it works, especially in a case like this. And I've mentioned it in previous videos where a couple of the oils that I used to buy years ago from several different manufacturers, they actually stopped producing those oils. So it's really good when you find a wax, a wick, a vessel, oil, anything like that. When you find something that you really like, it's a good idea to try to find that oil or a similar oil from various manufacturers. That way, if something does go out of stock, like one of my favorite oils, Violet Lime, that one went out of stock for years and I didn't test anybody else's versions on that oil. So when it discontinued, I had no idea where to get it. It was one of my favorite ones. It was a very good seller, and I just couldn't get it for a couple of years. So I was definitely excited when I finally found it again. But that's not been the case for a few other oils that I have. I do have some oils. One of my favorites, it's a very basic one, but it's apple bourbon or apple maple bourbon, depending on where you get it. I know probably 4 suppliers that have this one. They all kind of do their own version of this one, but they're all very similar. They're all very good. I like the Midwest version the best, so I stick with that one. But if they were to discontinue that one, I know 3 other suppliers where I can get that one. So I'm not going to be out in the dark or kind of left in the cold on that one. So if they do end up getting rid of that, I know somebody else where I can get it from immediately. And that's kind of the same thing I would say with this one. It's definitely sad to see a lot of their waxes go because they had some really nice waxes. So where to get something similar to that is kind of up in the air right now. So hopefully somebody out there in either the Facebook groups or in the comment section down below here knows something that kind of fits. If you know one of their oils, one of their waxes or anything like that, please let others know kind of what fits or what's similar or kind of what to chase after this. And the other thing that I want to stress in this video is something like this does happen. It doesn't happen often where a company just kind of goes out after years of being in the landscape. And it's not something that any company, of course, wants to do, but it's definitely something that happens. Candles, as everybody knows, is a luxury item. So when the economy dips down a little bit, the candle industry is definitely felt. It definitely feels it throughout, from suppliers to small makers to big makers. Everybody feels it. And like I said a couple videos back, 2023 was definitely one of those years where people felt it. And 2024 is going to be kind of the, I don't know, not really the cleanup, but it's going to be kind of the aftermath of 2023 and a little bit of the cleanup. I honestly think this is probably going to happen to a few other suppliers, Because one of the other things I mentioned in the other video, and one of the things that happened through 2023, were there were a lot of new small suppliers jumping into the game, from vessels to waxes, oils, everything like that. And once you get into something like that, and I know this firsthand now after selling supplies for the last several years, it's definitely not an easy road to get into. It's a very steep hill to climb depending on the years that you're in it. And based on certain products that you're going to be selling, it's very hard to keep up with the demand, the space, the rising shipping charges, everything that goes along with some of these items. So for anybody watching the video, I would definitely say pay attention to what you use and try to find similar things that are out there, so that if something does happen like this, you can immediately bounce or transition or pivot to another wax that you really like, another oil that smells very similar, a wick that burns about the same, no other products in your line, so that you're not stuck trying to figure out what your next move is with your candle line. So that's pretty much it with this one. I just want to say all the best to everyone at 1617. Very sad to see you guys go. And to all the makers out there, definitely stay on top of your game and know what to bounce to when something disappears. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.